Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the language of money so you don't have to. Today, get ready for a dive into some interesting share activity at Universal Safety Products Inc. Might sound a bit dry, but stick with us because there are some key takeaways here. This is a current report filed by Universal Safety Products Inc. Think of it as a heads up to investors about something significant that just happened. And what happened here is pretty important for shareholders. So what is this fuss all about? Well, the company had to report on something that happened between the 26th of January and the 3rd of February of 2026. During that period, Universal Safety Products issued a whopping 405,000 shares of its common stock. Now, issuing new shares isn't always a bad thing, but how and why they did it matters a lot. These shares weren't sold for cash directly. Instead, they were given out because someone converted a convertible note. Imagine you lent money to a company and had the option to get your money back or receive company stock instead. That's basically what happened here. They converted debt into equity. So before this conversion, there were about 2.7 million shares of common stock out there. After this conversion though, and other potential conversions, the total number of shares increased. Dilution is a term investors really pay attention to. When there are more shares outstanding, it means each existing share represents a smaller piece of the company. This can potentially decrease the earnings per share, making the stock less attractive if the company doesn't grow its profits proportionally. And here is another key detail. These shares were offered and sold under an exemption from registration requirements. This means these shares weren't registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission in the usual public way. This often happens with private placements or conversions of debt and can mean that the investors who received these shares might have been sophisticated investors like venture capital firms or private equity groups who already have a lot of information about the company. So what does this mean for Universal Safety Products Inc? On one hand, converting debt to equity can strengthen a company's balance sheet by reducing its liabilities. This can make the company look financially healthier and less risky to lenders. However, as we mentioned, it also dilutes ownership for existing shareholders. We need to ask if the company is using this as a way to get out of debt without impacting cash flow, or if there is a deeper strategic reason. Now, looking at the structure of this filing, it's all neatly laid out in a standardized format using inline XBRL. This is a modern way for companies to report their financial information, making it easier for computers to read and analyze. Among the exhibits, you'll find the cover page data in this format. The report is dated the 6th of February 2026 and signed off by Harvey B. Grossblatt, the President and Chief Executive Officer. This signature confirms that the company acknowledges the information presented in this report. So what is my take on this Universal Safety Products Inc? Has managed its debt by converting it into stock. This can be a smart move to clean up the balance sheet, especially if interest payments were a burden. However, the devil is in the details. We need to understand who these note holders were and what their intentions are. If they were looking to exit their investment soon after conversion, this could signal selling pressure on the stock. If they are long-term investors, it might be neutral. The key for investors now is to watch how the company's earnings perform relative to the increased share count. Can they grow profits fast enough to offset the dilution and keep earnings per share on an upward trend? The company's business is in safety products, a sector that can be resilient but also competitive. Without more financial data like revenue and profit figures from this specific filing, we can't draw definitive conclusions about their overall financial health. But this share issuance is a red flag that warrants further investigation into their financial performance and future strategy. Alright, that's our quick decode of this Universal Safety Products Inc. filing. What do you think about this debt to equity conversion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next decode.